Of Chen in Kingston, the signing contract for the World Heavyweight title fight to be held in Jamaica on the 22nd of January next year is about to take place. Seated at the table and signing now, we have Joe Frazier, the champion, and on the other side, the number one contender, Mr. George Foreman. In fact,
and
to
we
this,
call on Mr. Joe Frazier, the heavyweight champion, to say a few words.
calling on Joe Frazier.
Good afternoon. Well, I'm not going to say too much about George because you all know that I'm not really a great rapper, mouth run offer. You know, it is like some people we know. And I'm very happy that the fight is coming off because one particular reason, I feel like you need people like George and myself in the fighting game every day because fighting is a sport and it's not a politician thing and it's not a thing to be rapping off and talking about it. First of all, you're going to have to get out there and prove yourself and do the job real well. I feel like this is going to be a real good fight and we don't have to sit here and rap about it and go through a bunch of strange commotion. Because George is not that type of guy, and I'm not that type of guy. George's going to be out there trying to win the title, and I'm going to be out there trying to hang on to it.
I don't want to be as modest as Joe Frazier because 20% isn't as near as enough as, he's going to get. So I've got to get out here and preach and brag and beg and scheme and let you people think that I'm a monkey or something so you can come out and see me do something. And I want all the people in the country, in this country and in all parts of the world to come out and see this fight. And I don't think you'll be interested in come out and see two friends shake hands. Joe Frazier and me will declare war on that day. And that's definitely. And
Joe Frazier with Bowman Williams. Frazier, since he's been here, has really been in extremely good form.
It's been almost 5 years since Foreman came out of Park's Job Corps to win an Olympic gold medal in boxing. His critics will say he's not ready for Frazier yet. His supporters say he's a better boxer and puncher than anyone Frazier has yet seen. Foreman himself says Frazier is due to fall. Going back and looking on the last Muhammad Ali-Joe Frazier fight, Muhammad hit him with everything, and Frazier was just kept coming at him. Why should it be any different for you?
Well, I don't know about, what he and Frazier had. I'm not even interested in what happened to Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. I think right now the thing is George Foreman and Joe Frazier, and that's going to be a heck of a lot different than anyone else. I figure Joe Frazier has been one of the best heavyweight champions that the country and the world have ever had, but like every other champion before me and before him, they've had their day. He's had his day. I think it's about time that he move on to singing and dancing.
What will it take?
What will it take? Probably a good left hook and a right hand.
You do think you can knock the man out, though?
Joe Frazier will probably be knocked out. It all depends on how he, in fact, respect me. If he think that he's the, like the odds have been said, 4-1, 5-2, or whatever. If he think it's like that, then he will get knocked out. But if he go in and say it's an even fight, then I may have to hunt for him a while. But all in all, I think that the fight will probably more than likely end in a knockout. Joe Frazier, the victim.
You do think that it will end in a knockout, though. You don't think that your particular style is to go 15 rounds with the man and beat him on a decision.
Well, I've been training extremely hard every day. I'm not talking or bragging, trying to say I'm gonna do something I haven't prepared myself for. I've been running up the hills of Hayward, up steep mountains, and I tell you, I'm not doing this just to play with nobody. I'll be burning at Joe Frazier from the first bell till the end of the fight.
Have you fought the fight mentally in your own mind already?
Well, I've fought it in several attacks, but first of all, I don't think that Joe Frazier will be continually coming at me. I can't see that. I've tried to imagine it within my mind, and I beat on the bags and pretending it was Joe Frazier. And there's no way that man can continue to come at me, first of all. So I don't think that he'll be trying to fight me in the same manner that he fought Muhammad Ali. I think he'll try to do a little toe stepping or something like that, a little soft shoe before it's over with.
Would you compare your own style to Muhammad Ali's? I mean, if you had to make a comparison to anyone, would it be his?
If on a given night I'm compared to any great heavyweight, I'd like to think that I would have some comparison to Joe Louis.
And here comes Joe Frazier, heavyweight champ of the world, who will be defending his title later on this evening against George Foreman. And the fans are saying Smoking Joe, his famous nickname.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, may I introduce the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Michael Manley.
Here is Prime Minister Michael Manley wishing Joe Frazier best of luck this evening. And here comes Joe Louis, one of the greats of all time. There's Joe Frazier elbowing George Foreman a little to the side. boxing commissioners looking at the scales now for Joe Frazier.
214 pounds.
Joe Frazier, 214 pounds.
Hey, hey.
And now George Foreman steps up to the scales. Staring him out.
George Foreman, 217 and 1/2.
Champion. We're using a 10-point must-scoring system, a mandatory 8 count, 3 knockdowns in the round will not end the fight. That normal rule has been waived for this heavyweight championship fight. No saving by the bell. If a fighter is down, when the bell sounds, counting will continue. It's a 21-foot ring with a canvas like a mattress, very soft. The Joe Frazier kind of canvas. He doesn't bounce. He's a slugger, keeps coming at you like a tank. Foreman bounces some, and when he does, he'll sink. It won't be too good for him. In the background, I hear cheers, so Joe Frazier, the heavyweight champion of the world, age 29, has had 29 bouts, unbeaten, 25 knockouts in his career. Only 4 men have gone the distance with Joe. Muhammad Ali, of course, in the never-to-be-forgotten bout of March 8, 1971. Oscar Bonavena twice. There's Joe Frazier coming down the aisle, hanging on to his manager, Yancey Durham, as he always does. That's the Joe Frazier habit. Joe hasn't been very happy with George Foreman's behavior. Joe says he's a guy who likes to be let alone, who respects other fighters, but Foreman has been expressing disrespect for Frazier, and Frazier has seemed openly edgy. Not an act, not the usual promotion. He wants to do away with Foreman quickly if he can. Bonavena twice, I was saying, Ali once, and Scrap Iron Johnson once. They're the only ones who've gone the distance with Joe Frazier. As Joe gets into the ring, right, he'll be operating right above us. There's George Foreman. Oh, they've changed the corners on us, gentlemen and ladies. George Foreman will be in this corner. Originally, it's been set for George Foreman to be in the corner diagonally opposite us, but no, George will be right above us. You see Joe in that colorful attire. The white gown, in effect, with the gold, really, gleaming gold trim and belt. Joe Frazier came in at a surprising 214 pounds, 8.5 pounds more than he was the night he fought Muhammad Ali. George Foreman, at, for him, a most satisfactory 217.5. George, of course, being 3 inches plus taller than Joe, and George having some considerable reach advantage on Joe. The referee will be Arthur McCanty as the ring announcer, Dwight Wiley, begins to get ready to introduce the contestants. Arthur McCanty, who's refereed 21 championship fights in his career, including the Ali-Frazier fight. Generally considered the best referee in boxing in the United States. The judges, Bill Spano, veteran boxing judge from Philadelphia, and Jacques Minot of Jamaica. And all 3 will be scoring the fight. Again, the 10-point must-scoring system per round. Well, they're trying to psych each other out as Arthur McCanty makes his announcement.
This contest for the heavyweight championship of the world will be governed by the rules of the Jamaican Boxing Court of Wales.
There's no fear in either man. There is no fear in George Foreman. He's grown enormously in his confidence of speech and presence, as well as in boxing. We're close to the start of round 1. Any second now, and we may have an interesting evening. Frazier, quite understandably, the favorite. Foreman comes out punching with the right. Frazier in his usual style. Smoking is the way he puts it. His job to get inside. His best weapon, the left hook. Foreman is vulnerable to the hook. Oh, the crowd was misled when Joe fell back a little. There was a slip off balance. Historically, Frazier has not been a good first-round fighter. But historically, he has been a tremendous, tremendous fighter. A great champion. You saw the left hook land on Foreman. That's what he'll be working on all night. Foreman would like to keep punching and keep Frazier away from him with his punches. Joe's job to get inside. Steadily use that left hook. Whip. Oh, Foreman connected, as you saw. He's a big, strong boy. He likens this fight to the same kind of problem he faced. There's another left by George. He's getting into Frazier's head. We'll find out tonight how much the Ali fight took out of Frazier, if anything. And we'll find out tonight just how good George Foreman is in punching and in taking a punch. I think he hurt Joe Frazier. I think Joe is hurt. Angie Dundee, Ali's trainer, right next to me is saying it. You may hear him. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier! The heavyweight champion is taking the mandatory 8 count, and Foreman is as poised as can be in a neutral corner. He is as poised as can be. We have a minute left in this first round, and already this fight is proving out what some have expected. Oh, that left is getting in there. Underneath, Archie Moore is yelling to Foreman. We've got the excitement here that we look for. Frazier is dazed. He is getting hit again and again and again. The same head that was hit so often by Muhammad Ali. Frazier is dazed. You see the countdown for the first round. Foreman has not panicked. Foreman is going about his job. Foreman is all over Joe Frazier. Frazier is down again, and he may be. No, he is rising. He is game. He doesn't know where he is. The mandatory 8 count. He doesn't know where he is. Now the round is about to end. 2 knockdowns in the first round of Joe Frazier. Down again. No saving by the bell. He's up, and so the fight continues. 3 knockdowns in the first round by George Foreman. The stool hasn't even been brought out yet for Frazier. What excitement. You're looking at Joe Frazier. Yancey Durham over. The crowd shocked, but the crowd here rooting for Foreman. Muhammad Ali was their hero. Now you're looking in slow motion. The right for the first knockdown. Clean as a whistle. Oh, what a first round. Well, back in Frazier's corner. As you look at them working over Joe, the ice pack at the back of the neck to restore the senses. Let's go to the slow-mo for the second knockdown. The right again. Clean as a whistle again. We're waiting for the start now of round 2. There was no question about the first round. 3 knockdowns. Now Joe is coming out at him. Wants to come back in a hurry. You'll not find a gamer man than Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier, who went down 3 times in the first round. A caution from Arthur Mercani. Oh, he is all over Frazier again. He has Frazier in the corner. Frazier's knees buckled. He is down. He is down for the 4th time in the fight. George Foreman is doing to Joe Frazier what he did as a 19-year-old to a veteran Russian, a fellow named Iona Shapoulis, in October of 1968 in the Mexico City Arena. A quick left from George. Another. Frazier is down for the 5th time in this fight. 5th time. 3 times in the first round, twice in the second. McCanny checked his senses, checked Frazier's senses. It's target practice for George Foreman. It is target practice. Frazier is ready to go again. Joe is standing. There he goes. 3 times. 3 times. The fight is stopped. No, it is not. It is not stopped. Angie Dundee is screaming, stop it. Bertie Pacheco, Ali's doctor next to me. It is over. It is over. It is over in the second round. George Foreman is the heavyweight champion of the world. And I'm going up into that ring to talk to Joe Frazier, the loser, and to George Foreman, the winner, because Joe Frazier has been a great champion and deserves consideration. Yancey Durham hugging him. They're going crazy about George Foreman. I'll be back with Joe Frazier in a moment. We're in the ring corner, as you can see, Joe Frazier's corner. George Foreman, the new heavyweight champion of the world, has just spoken to Joe. Yancey Durham, a very great manager in boxing, man, is over his fighter. And Joe Frazier has been, as I've said, a great fighter. I'm certain the camera is having trouble spotting me. The knockout of the fight was stopped at 1:35 of the second round. Joe, I'm so terribly, terribly sorry. It must have been an immense surprise, wasn't it, Yancey? The fact that...
Couldn't believe it.
You're going to seek a rematch?
Yeah, I would like to fight, or, get a rematch with him. I mean, it's just one of those things, Howard. I mean, the guy caught him clean with a good shot. I mean, there's nothing to say. He caught him with a good shot, that's all.
Yancey, do you have a rematch clause?
There's no rematch clause, but I would be seeking a rematch with George Foreman.
Isn't it odd that there was no rematch clause?
No, it isn't odd because they don't recognize a rematch clause, Howard.
Well, that's true as a matter of law, but we've had rematches.
I'm quite sure that he'll give us a rematch because we worked so hard with him. Okay, give me a throw.
All right, give Joe room, please.
I want to say hello to everybody. Marva sorry. But just one of those things. Joe got caught with a good shot. And no fighter, I don't think no man would have stood up under that shot. Joe got up, he did a wonderful job, but I'm awful sorry, but maybe a rematch, if he'd be kind enough to give us a rematch, I'll feel confident we'll take him out.
He showed extraordinary courage. Joe, I hate to bother you at this moment. May I just tell you how sorry I am, because the American people know what a decent man you are and what a great champion you've been.
Well, Howard, don't worry about it. I'll get it back.
You will go for a rematch, as
you better believe it.
All right, Joe. Good luck to you. Thank you for talking to us. Yance, could we turn Joe around just for a moment? Okay. It's a very, very difficult situation for a great fighter, and the cut beneath his lip is just a terrible, terrible thing to say. Just a terrible thing to say. Now let's move across the ring and get in to talk to the new heavyweight champion of the world, George Foreman, who told me when I first got to the island that this would be the same as his fight against Ionis Shapoulis in the Olympics, that it would stop in the second round.
Ask him about Ali.
All right. All right, let me have George, please.
All right, here you go. Here you go, my man. World commentator.
All right.
All right, talk to us. Talk to the new world champion of the world.
All right, George.
Hold it. Let him talk to you.
First, my congratulations. Second,
First, I'd like to say, Howard, when you told me I could do it, I didn't need no more. Nothing else. You said, George, this is your opportunity, and I went on and took care of business. So thanks a million for your great support, and I'd like to credit this championship to Howard Cosell and people of that nature for going out and saying a lot of good things about me and crediting me with the contendership of the world. So thanks a lot, Howard.
George, I think you made a truly great fighter tonight, but I believed in you because of what you did to Ionis Shapoulis in the same situation.
That's the same thing you said, so my blessing go to you, and of course, Doc Brodus, with the shiny head. And I'd like to say hello to my beautiful wife and my beautiful baby at home, and right on, I got to get out of here. They're going to hurt me.
Wait just a second. We're looking at second round action right now. The viewers are watching you beat Joe Frazier all over the ring, the way you did to Shapoulis. Now, Joe and Yancey have told me they want a rematch. Will you give them one?
Right now, my fight is with the with all the young boys around Houston, 5th Ward, and around the world in the United States who feel that they ain't got nothing to do but to get on, go somewhere and get high. So my fight is in that ring, the ring of the world. I want to go out and preach what I've done, and that's my fight from now on.
Right on.
My fight is with the people.
All right, George. Again, congratulations.
George over here, will you please? Here comes George. George! Out of the way, fellas, please. George! Here comes George Foreman. George, right here, George. Stay right here. Lewis. Well, go ahead, George. Everything was kind of confused, you know. Joe Lewis came to my dressing room, and he said more in 5 words than all of my guys have been working in 20 days. He said, George, your left hand is going to do it. Your right hand is going to come out whenever it's necessary. Is that what did it, George? Joe Lewis. No, is that the hand that did it for you? Right hand. Joe Lewis, I got more respect for him than any man in the world. I credit that to Joe Lewis and Mr. Archimo. Did Frazier hurt you at any time? My man. Yeah, I got it. My man. George, did Frazier hurt you at any time? Frazier left hook caught me once. He hurt you once in the first round. He didn't hurt me, but he got me with it. Did you think you were going to win it so fast? I thought about the 4th round. Archimo had predicted the 4th round. I do everything he said do, so I was kind of surprised. What round was that? That was the 2nd. You mean you forgot the round, George? Archie said it was going to be the 4th. You know how many times you had him down? Hello, how you doing? I can't remember. You know, about 7. 3 in the first. I told Yank Durham to stop it because I was just too much energy. I killed him, you know. And Joe, I got too much respect for Joe Lewis. Well, listen. And as I heard you say when I was fighting George Chavello. George, I got to know about your plans for the future. Will you fight Frazier again, or will you fight Muhammad Ali? Right now, that was my main goal, was to win the World Heavyweight Championship. You got it now. I'd like to go out and tell a lot of kids and preach it for a long time that all you got to do is work and pray hard. You can get anything you want. Right. I like to spend my whole life giving that message out. But what about... More so than fighting. What about your next fight, George? My next fight would be to work with all the juveniles that need to talk to me. In the ring. That's the ring right there. The world is my ring. George. Now. Thank you very much. I am trying to get out of the ring, and I'll be happy to get out of the ring. If I can get out of the ring, I'll be very happy. That was George Foreman. Harry Carpenter of the BBC is here. And Harry, I hope you have better luck than I did. Well, I'm going to try and get near him, Don, if I can. Go ahead, Harry. George. You want to get another round? Go. I'd like to tell all the people who are watching BBC that with their support and demand for our fight for the World Heavyweight Championship, I achieved this great moment in my life. And I'd like to thank all the people in the world for the great write-up, for demanding that they will go out to the theater and pay the still fight of that nation. So my blessings go all over to Europe, America. Okay, George. Let's take a look at that last round, the 2nd round between George Foreman and Joe Frazier, who at this point was still heavyweight champion of the world. Look at that melee in the ring. Was I lucky to get a hold of him? Got to thank Sandy Sadler for that. Here's round 2. Remember, Foreman has floored Frazier 3 times in the first round. Frazier in the white trunks, of course. That jolting uppercut. And the referee warns Foreman about pushing, I guess. And that's Dick Sadler, the manager of Foreman. He was upset. As As you can see, it's almost a hopeless case for Frazier. And Frazier tried to psych George Foreman. Frazier taking the mandatory 8 count up again. You can see Sadler in the background waving his man in. Foreman is in complete charge of the fight. Down from the left hook. Arthur McCanty, the referee. I bet you Arthur didn't think he was going to have all this excitement. Joe took an awesome battering. He really got hit tonight. Look at those punches. Left hook, right uppercut. Everything from the book. Frazier again taking the mandatory 8 count. Here's the last knockdown in slow motion. Here goes Joe, being relieved of the heavyweight championship. There it is. That right hand, Joe bounced down on one knee. Then he went all the way down. And the fight is over. George Foreman still surrounded in the ring. The new heavyweight champion of the world. George Foreman, he's 24 years old. He has had 38 fights now. He's won them all, 35 of them by knockout. And that is the first time that Joe Frazier has ever lost a fight. It was Joe's 30th fight. George Foreman getting a tremendous hand as he finally gets out of the ring. We had a wild night here at National Stadium in Kingston, Jamaica. And one of the big upsets in the heavyweight championship ranks. There's George, a happy George Foreman on his way to his dressing room. I remarked earlier that Frazier at 214 pounds seemed too heavy. He was not the Frazier. This is taking nothing away from Foreman, but he was not the Frazier at 205 and a half who fought Muhammad Ali. Foreman being carried out. Never saw a boxer carried out that way before. Worldwide technical facilities by Video Techniques Incorporated. Executive producer Henry A. Schwartz.